Hey guys, it's Tim Gillette, author critic of the Rock and Roll Keys to Business Success. All right, I talk around a lot of shows I've done on here called Rock Around Your Blog. I help actually speakers and coaches build blogging as their root of their business to help them get online. And we've done an idea of Rock Around Your Blog. I've done over 53 episodes. This actually technically, I think, 54 or 55. It's been a while since I've done one, but I wanted to cover a subject today because it's something that has gotten my attention. That really, I'm just kind of sick of hearing everybody talk about it, and it isn't working for me. All right, and I'll go through why, and while we got people jumping in and out of the windows, we'll have them go through why, and talk about maybe whether they're liking it or not liking it. I'm not going to put it down if it's something you love or something you enjoy, but I'm just going to give you a perspective from someone who's not finding this useful to think about, and that is. I actually come up with the idea after as many of you know, I had a seizure at the end of February. Epilepsy is a part of my life, and overwhelming myself with all these new toys and everything was part of the root cause of the why. I had it because I put too much in my life and I overstressed my life and could not do it. So after that happened, I came home, seen the doctor. The first thing I did was I went through all this crap that I wasn't using or didn't work, and I got rid of it. Wasn't going to stay on my system. And I made the choice then, in the last couple of weeks, I made the choice that, after 90 days, if I don't see it as a viable form to be bringing leads in or bringing business in to my business, it goes. It doesn't stay no more. Because every week something new is being introduced. So we're basically going to, in this case here, I'm going to get rid of it. Snapchat is just not working for me. I have tried it. It's not playing games with me. That's why I'm sending my children away. They don't bring in leads. So basically, I got on Snapchat. I want to say was either in December or January. So you like that one? Yeah. Good. Jonathan's good. So I was hoping to get Jonathan in a window if he can. But Jonathan, I want Jonathan's opinion on this because I know he uses it. Sandra Rita, she uses it. These are people I want in because I'm not finding value. I got rid of
Sandra's
after my seizure.
Another blab right now.
Huh?
Sandra's on another blab right now.
Is she?
Yeah. I just topped off her blab.
Okay. Snapchat is useless. I love it. But here's,
hey, Jonathan.
Buddy, how you doing?
Hello, gentlemen.
After my seizure, the immediate thing I did was the ones I got rid of was Meavy. I got rid of, what was the other one that was just the audio
Anchor.
thing? Anchor. Got rid of it. I was trying to sell all kinds of gadgets I have in my house, and I've used Craigslist over the years. Craigslist was my greatest tool. Well, all these new apps came out where you could sell stuff on. I downloaded 4 of them, and they were nothing but a hassle. So right there, 6 apps deleted right off my phone. Gone.
I've found OfferUp to be fairly effective.
Yeah.
And really,
well, that's it. Some of us find this stuff, and that's why I said I'm not going to put down. If you find Snapchat useful for you, you use it. But I'm adapted in my life that if after 90 days it doesn't convert or do something to better my life or my business, it's a distraction, and I need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I decided Snapchat is one of them. So, and I was hoping people like Jonathan, I know, Jonathan, you use it, don't you?
Yeah. I think I use it probably in the same way that people used to use fax machines. Mm-hmm. They used to use pagers and voicemail. Well, maybe still some people use voicemail, like on your intercom system and stuff like that. And, I'm going to say like this, it may not be useful for you. Right now. Yeah. And it may be something that in a few years, the technology is going to change so much that it will be replaced by something better than Snapchat that is way more widely accepted and used. Even just if you just think of like video chatting, 10 years, it would cost you, $10,000. I don't know. I'm just picking a number, right? The whole point is it was a big cost between equipment and lines and all this stuff. And now it's literally, push a button, start a show, but it's been years.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe right now Snapchat is not the way to go. But I know for me, I Snapchat about stuff I do. I Snapchat about the show today and things like this. And actually, I drive now people to my show and they sign up on my email list. And then that gets them into that funnel, which is a little bit more traditional into thinking. And again, I was in it and then I stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I stopped snapping. I mean, I kind of watched a little bit, but I didn't really care and didn't pay attention. And then I decided to try it again.
How do you watch, Jonathan, if you're on the outside? I've never used the app. I don't plan on using it, but how do I look? Can I be outside the ecosystem and still look into Snapchat?
No, not natively. The only way you'd be able to do it is if somebody actually downloaded it and like put it on a YouTube channel or something like that.
Okay, that's my thing as far as like Anchor and Mevi. They came out. They're on Twitter. I'm a big Twitter user, and I guess that's my big roadblock is I don't want to invest that time. I'm not in the business like Tim is and you all are in the thing. I'm just a observer, enthusiast of all things on this internet, and I guess to me it's just a time suck. Like Tim said, if you don't get value, what's the point? But like you said, very good point. You bring it up. It could evolve into something more better. Look at Blab just here years. As far as I've been playing around with the slide share capability that just came on here the last 2 days, and it's evolving. Okay, so for me, I like to see the app first before I plunge in.
Mm-hmm. See, I studied Blab. I went on. I looked at what Blab has done. I read all the blog posts, all the frequently asked questions about it. I did all that stuff before I got active on here. Mm-hmm. And then I think if some of you know me, when I first started, I gave myself like 30 days. When I found it, I said, this is a great tool for me to connect. And I think my first 30 days, I set a goal. Let me be on, I think, 100 shows in 30 days. And I actually made it on 100 recorded shows in 30 days. And then I started my own shows, recording my own shows, I want to say within 7 days. And it fit well. Periscope now, I've been on Periscope for over a year. I don't have the following on Periscope. Doesn't convert that well for me. I still do stuff on it, but it didn't grow for me like Blab did. So, you got to decide what grows for you, what doesn't. And if it's going to suck time, it's not a business building tool.
Well, I mean, we're like this with every single other aspect of our business. Mm-hmm. And, to some extent now, obviously let's use your heads here. Like, I would say, Tim, you know how to blog, you've done a few, and, and so, if you were blogging and you weren't getting results, you're going to look at it and kind of go, okay, is this working, or am I just not using the tool the right way? Yeah. Or is it just, it's a great message, it's just not reaching the audience? I mean, and now you have an established audience. Mm-hmm. You already have an audience. So it's not like you're trying to break in and tap this unreached. No, you already have an audience. So you're writing content that you feel will be an influencer or a thought leader for what you're trying, to reach your audience. Yeah. The way that like a Snapchat would work would be are your snaps, are your stories, if we're going to call them that, are they reaching out to maybe a new audience, or are they finding your existing audience on another platform? And that's where you might just kind of go, well, then it's redundant. Mm-hmm. I'm off. I don't see what the engagement is. Yeah. And that's how a lot of people kind of feel about it. They're like, I don't understand why I should be on it.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm going to go ahead and go in the chat here and open the seat for other people.
Thanks for coming in, Rich. I appreciate
You're welcome.
You, buddy.
You're welcome, sir.
So we find so much came out though since I got on Blab. I got to see so many new things, and when I looked at all of them, it was neat to watch them. But that overwhelm. If we get into the overwhelm of something and it's not growing our business, you got to sit back and look. What's more important? If you were, and I'm going to use this as an analogy, when AOL first got out, let's go back to the 1990s, AOL. And the biggest thing that I heard from AOL, I don't remember whether I heard it from Facebook or what when Facebook came out, but I heard people talk about this idea that, so-and-so got involved with somebody and they ended up having an affair because they met him on AOL, on Facebook. So that means it's bad, right? Now, we take that and we look at that and go, okay, if someone had an affair, okay, they ruined their marriage over it, it's obviously time to remove that from your life. It's probably not a good tool for you. But when it comes to our business, self-employed people, especially like myself, I know Jonathan's the same way. Robert, are you self-employed or are you retired, buddy?
Both.
Yeah.
I don't sit.
All right.
I don't sit still in retirement.
Yeah. We are in a place where, we still have to do things to make our business run. So this thing now becomes an affair for our business, takes us off what's making us money, takes us off what's building our business. And so many of us are like, well, no, you got to fit this in. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm. No, you don't. You have to but you do need to keep in mind what your business is, who your audience is. And I mean, you may want to try, like you said, for 30 days, you were trying it. Let's see how we can engage with a different audience. Will we be able to gain an audience? Now, I'll be honest, Snapchat is kind of hard to break into because you don't share it out. Mm-hmm. It's not like there's a little tweet button or a Facebook notify button. The only way you add people is either through the code or, someone knows your name. And so, you have to type it in. But at the same time, there's a certain nuance to the platform that it's purposely structured to be siloed. It's supposed to be exclusive to an extent. I mean, there are ways that are working around it, and Ghost Codes is another one. That's right. That it's just another. By the way, Ghost Codes is just another. It's a third-party app where you can find, certain maybe more influencers or things like that, right? But
you mentioned something there, Jonathan. I want to stop and go to it real quick. Then we can continue on. But you said there's no way to share it out. The reason this platform works for me and Periscope works for me is I got a huge Twitter audience that I was able to use, huge Facebook following I was able to use.
Yeah, it takes a lot more time. It takes a lot more time to be able to bring an outside audience or to gain an audience within. It just takes a little bit. I mean, so, we'll take somebody, I don't know, like a Brian Fanzo, just because he's a millennial and, he uses a lot of technology stuff, right? He's out there and he's talking about it all the time. Gary Vee does that too. Not a millennial, talking about it all the time. Like, to the point you're just like, I'm so sick and tired of talking about Snapchat. I even said it in my show the other day. It's like, there's a time and a place. Like, if I talk all the time about Snapchat, I get irritated with it. And so I don't want to talk about it.
It almost becomes a revolving, all right, for someone like you and me who has shows where we do on regulars, it becomes a revolving thing of we got people on attention on here, let's move them over to this platform. Are we revolving them from platform to platform? You know what I mean? Sure. And that's where I'm starting to see where it's, okay, we need to set up if it works.
That is a really good point. Now, as a content creator, which I do put you in that category because you're making blabs and you do make, you're writing blogs and you're doing other things. You're making content. Here is some of the issue that we're going to have, right? I think that on Snapchat, it is a platform that you're able to create something that's a little bit different than everywhere else. And to some people, that's important. And so they want to consume that content there. Bobby Shadow.
Hey, Bobby.
What's up?
I would love Bobby's opinion on this.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt. I mean, you guys are going a certain direction, but I do.
Well, no, it's just because this is what I'm doing. However, I'm all for. This is educational also. This is because just because it isn't working for Tim doesn't mean it doesn't work for Jonathan. And I want this recording to echo that fact that it doesn't work for me here, but it works for Jonathan over here. Maybe it works for Bobby, and that's where I want this to go. So, I mean, I want to get it in, and then I'll bring in all of you who want to come in and give your opinion on it.
Yeah, well, we all know where Snapchat started. It was more of I think it actually started out more with the high school and college students, just like sending out, like funny faces, maybe some raspberries, and then, maybe a middle finger, and then it disappears type thing. But I agree with Tim, though, to where it is one of the apps that you want to delete right away because it's a huge, takes over your space on your phone. And I did delete, if you want to mention some platforms, I did delete MeV and Anchor. Yep. But, those accounts are still there in limbo. You can always sign on and get back.
Get back in, yeah.
Just say hi to everyone. I mean, everyone doesn't have to know that you deleted it. But what I use Snapchat for is I don't really Snapchat that much, but just once in a while I'll do it just to, just because I felt like doing it. But where the kind of stuff that I like doing with Snapchat is, let's say if you like someone a lot, like a star or a model, or fashion or maybe music, and you follow that certain source, like, Brian Fanzo, but I would think of someone more like Grant Cardone or, maybe a mafia guy that might be giving me some insights on how to, become a mafia hacker. But I'm going to be getting that content for free. But what I've learned is I have to start cleaning up my Snapchat because I have too many people in line. I think that the less people you have on Snapchat, the more you get out of it, because then you can, you're only following a few people. But, Snapchat is cool, but it is one of the apps that I would like to delete.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Bobby, have you found use for your business?
I'm not really into any kind of business. So I'm kind of retired. So I use it more. I would say if you're going to use it in your business, it's more of something when you go outside and smoke a cigarette, or, it's something more of when you're taking a break. It's something that you can touch bases with. You can just like see inside someone's life that you really like. You can get that glimpse in their life of what they're doing, and then you can like slide it. I think you slide it up, and you can kind of throw a few words in, like how you doing. That's cool, and get a hold of me. And I think it is going to be, I think they are working on it to be more of a kind of like a Skype communication face to face, like a walkie talkie situation, like what Jonathan was talking about.
Okay.
I think that it is going to evolve into something that could be surprising. You never know,
I think this is what I think, and I probably am not the first person to think this. I think Snapchat is setting the stage to monetize their audience. And so It's not a big free thing, right? Just kind of how, like with Twitter, if you're following, say, 3,000 people, you don't really read all 3,000 people's tweets. I guarantee it, right? No. Even with lists, you just don't do it. And so I don't see Snapchat as being the place where I need to consume everybody's content all the time, because I don't do it in real life. Tim, I really love you, man. I don't listen to every blab and video that you do. I don't. Right. I don't
catch all yours either, but I love you.
I've only made it through 2,000 of your 5,000 blog posts, but I'm working on it, right? So I think you get what I'm saying, where it's like in real life, I don't catch every single conversation that everybody has that I know. And so I kind of use Snapchat the same way. Now, I kind of use a system in there so I can kind of find them a little bit easier. So I catch the people that I that are a little bit, maybe a little closer to me, or that I think they've got a really great perspective on something, or because I use Snapchat as, and I don't know if I'm the one that said this, but I use it for my in-between moments. I'm not on the show. I'm not trying to do a Facebook thing. It's my in-between moments. Like I literally snap before I go on my show, maybe a little bit after. If I see something funny or cool, usually you get my mug shot, and I don't have a coffee mug with me, but that's my coffee mug. That's my mug shot, right? That's how I use it. It's a great relation tool. More than it is a lead generator, more than it is a traffic driver, more than it is any of those other more traditional tools. And so that's just kind of how I've decided to be able to leverage Snapchat as just part of the overall content. And it's taken me a little bit. I will say this is not like I'm in love with this platform. This is the only thing you need. And it's part of what I do. And I've actually gotten to the point where I can tell a quick story about my day in maybe less than 3 minutes in a day, and it's good enough content. I mean, I get okay. I mean, I'm not a superstar or anything. It's a toy. I like new toys, but it's.
So I see Ben's comment up here talk about maybe behind the scenes, and I could see that. You know what I mean? Where someone like us, I mean, like a Joel Comm or Brian Fanzo, they've got a whole life going on, and that's a great snap into the backside of their life. My life is pretty much it's visible everywhere anyway. Yeah. I don't have behind the scenes, so it's not for me doing that. It's not that well.
Oh, she wants female. She wants female interactors. We can say Sandra Santorino. Let's see here. Jenny Q from the Jenny Q show here on Blab. She's another one.
Gosh, I haven't seen Jenny in so long. I miss her.
Let me think here. Who's another one? Jen Haverstead from the show.live with Mitch Jackson.
Yeah.
Katie's Miller. I'm trying to think of another.
Thanks for coming in, Bobby. I see you moved back up.
But I mean, my point is, I mean, there are a lot. I'm just trying to think of like in terms of like these big social media guru types. Like, how are they leveraging it? Because they're wicked busy, you know. But it doesn't mean that women. As a matter of fact, some of the most avid snappers are actually in the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, now again, if you're just coming into the room, okay, you guys here, I'm not here to put down Snapchat. I'm just going, okay, I'm not seeing the sense in it for my business.
And I think it's a very.
I'm glad I brought Jonathan in because him and I have similar ways we're going, I guess you could say. So I get Jonathan's opinion on that. Robert, what are you doing with it? Anything?
I've been trying it, but I find it rather difficult. And I kind of like the connection between LinkedIn, Twitter, and Blab. I think that's kind of my default.
Yeah.
Just
now LinkedIn. If you want to go with websites and not apps, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I hardly ever use LinkedIn.
I use it.
It's not a business conversion for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, I'm with you.
LinkedIn because I see the purpose in having it for what I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. And Robert, you use LinkedIn a lot. I get views, and I'm probably going to have to do something with it because I have it. Just as a traffic driver, it's more of just like, okay, you found me on LinkedIn. I want to drive you towards my website, but I use it about as much as I use Google Plus and MySpace.
See, now,
it's a different.
Came out.
It's a different tool. It's more of an outbound rather than an inbound platform. That's all.
Google Plus. How many of you guys used it?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
That's a big.
How about when they were? What was the YouTube? Not Google Plus. What was the video platform they had?
Hangouts.
Hangouts. How many of you guys used Hangouts?
No.
And it's still a viable thing. As a matter of fact, some people are saying you need to go and you need to be using Google Hangouts now to produce your shows and just publish them now live on Blab. So now all of a sudden it's kind of like, oh my goodness, what's happening with all these platforms? And again, we get into this thing where I think what the overall real point of what you're talking about, Tim, is that it's social media overload. And why am I going to use a platform that really isn't reaching the audience the way that I would want them to be reached?
Yeah.
I think that's the big question.
It may be that it's necessary to simulcast.
Well, if you have an audience that's on one and not the other, it's like right now I have this posted on my blog because I wanted to put this on for my blog.
Right.
Those people who are going to read it are going to see this video.
Yeah.
So, I'm double using this Blab format, but how many of us don't have the same audience on every platform? Jenny, welcome.
Hi. I'm not actually here because I'm supposed to be working.
Yeah, she is working. This is work.
She is, but we talked about this. I knew she was going to pop in because this is the subject that her and I are passionate about.
Well, okay. So the thing is that, and Jonathan knows this. Hi, Robert. I have avoided Snapchat like the plague successfully until a couple weeks ago. And then I finally was like, okay, whatever, I'll sign up. And I got on ghost codes thanks to Jonathan. And so I have a whole bunch of people that follow me. It's lovely. But I just don't like it. I just really, really don't like it. Here's the challenge with these toys, though. I joined Snapchat the day it had its big new release. So I don't know what the first Snapchat was, right? But align that to or put that in a parallel with what's going on with Blab. The Blab of yore, the Blab that I reminisce about back in November, that I was in love with, is not the Blab we have today. And I don't want to complain about all these free platforms because who the hell am I? But it's frustrating because you have to evolve or you die. Yeah. And so I love your point, Tim, about, what is essential. I'm a hardcore believer in essentialism, and Snapchat is proving incredibly non-essential. It's basically video with bunny ears behind you. It's just so childish. I can't get into it. And I saw your comment earlier, Jonathan. You think I don't even use emoticons. I'm so freaking boring. That's not true, but I'm pretty close. I can't get into it. But now the same thing is starting to happen with Blab. Well, not the same thing, but similar things are happening with Blab. And Blab is becoming go-to webinar. Pretty much.
Right.
We can now have videos. We can now have screen share. We can now watch slideshows, and then yay, we are back to webinars.
Yeah, I watched somebody, streaming Netflix on, now. I don't even need to pay for Netflix. I get to watch it here and break all the copyright laws, right?
Yeah.
This is okay. On Coachella.
Right, I know.
It's demoralizing because you find something that's working for you really well, and it changes, and that makes a lot of sense. Of course, it's going to change. Of course, it needs to evolve. It totally makes sense. But my question to you guys, which is why I came in here, not because I'm just moaning and groaning. My question to you guys is, how do you know when something that has worked for you for a long time has outlived its usefulness? Go ahead, Jonathan. I see you.
No, I'm going to take that on because here I've been blogging. We all know it's what I talk about is blogging. I started blogging in 2010, and it was all written blogs. And in 2012, I started doing a radio show, and audio became a part of my blogging. Adding audio to it because now that's what my audience wanted, and it progressed. I swore video's not for me. Now, 2015, I get on Blab. Video becomes now a huge part of my blogging. Take that a step further. I always did live events. I did not do streaming. I would not do webinars. I would not. My audience is asking for it. So what do? I started 2015 doing webinars. When you get to the point where your audience asks you to move, you better move with them or get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know when it's not working?
Well, you know when it's time to move on. That's the challenge, right? Because you want to make sure you're. Well, who didn't move on from Meavy? I think Meavy moved on from Meavy.
It took me about a half hour.
It crashed on me like every time I tried to use it for a week, and then I just gave up. That was the easiest one to let go of.
I know. But
I think that's the only platform Robert C. Stern's left on. I know he's not listening. It's like
I don't even know what to say to that. But
I don't know how to participate in that conversation.
I don't know. Okay, but really, I think the whole point really is like you were saying, Jenny, how do you know when to move on? And I think it's going to be either one of maybe a couple of answers. One, you're not getting any results from it, meaning whether it's a business result, meaning you're not getting sales, or maybe you're not getting leads. Or maybe you're not meeting new clients, not necessarily leads, but like potential or connectors. You're not going to meet any of those, okay? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's that your views go down. Maybe it's that your engagement goes down. I mean, I still have a Facebook page, but my engagement is just like, meh. So I stopped for a while. And so I don't expect there to be a lot of engagement there. And people are all over my case. They're going,
Jenny,
hey,
you don't have a Facebook business page. You only have.
I unpublished that about a year and a half ago because that was no longer working either. My Facebook community did everything I needed, so I just unpublished it. It's still there, just kind of poking at me, but yeah.
And I mean, all in all, I'd say absolutely keep a page so you can do some advertising at some point. You have the option, but I mean, who cares if that's not your meat and potatoes? Who cares? Yeah. Some people really, 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 really obsessively, overly abundantly love LinkedIn.
Yeah.
and Google Plus, and I don't understand them. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't. They're not my platform. That's just not where I connect. So I don't.
Google Plus is another thing. When Hangouts came out, I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. It was. It was so exciting to be able to have.
I could never get on a Hangout. I could never figure it out.
I used to a very long time. I hosted, and this will make fun of my emoticon comment I got from Jonathan. I co-hosted an 8-hour dance party on Google Plus Hangouts once. I utilize, you don't even know from me. I utilized that platform like a crazy person. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then Blab came along and it was dead. I mean, truly, that afternoon, after I had done one Blab, I was like, wow, this is so much better. Mm-hmm. Because it had that organic reach. And now that organic reach has kind of dwindled, and it really is basically just the people I already know, which is wonderful because I love you guys. Blab is really upsetting to me because it's hard to find new people. It's hard to connect with new people.
It is. But I mean, when I had Yo Pickles on my radio show, she talked about there's other platforms she had a whole audience from that when Blab started and Periscope started, it built her up over here. Why? Because she already had the audience on some other platform. I forget what it was.
That's what you did with Periscope to Blab, right, Jonathan?
Well, I mean, it was all 6 of them. But, I mean, the whole point really is that over time, I mean, that's effectively what I did. And that's the reason why I got on Blab to begin with. It was because of somebody on Periscope said, you need to be on Blab. So, but again, then I think there's some value in, like, if I have a Twitter audience and I'm going to tell them I'm going to be on Blab, it's a different platform and you're able to interact with them on a different level. But what I don't want to see is to go from YouTube Live to Blab to Google Hangouts to Stream Up to Fire Talk. It's all the same thing. Yeah, it's just a different platform.
I don't want to embed my Blab, or I don't embed my YouTube on Blab so that I can talk about it on my Facebook while you guys are connected with me on LinkedIn. I mean,
and by the way,
at least that is chilled out. Because when I first got on Blab, there were people that were scoping and blabbing and meerkatting all at the same damn time. At least that's calmed down for a while.
Yeah, see, I do my daily song of the day on Periscope and Facebook Live, because right now it's 50-50. One day I have more people on Periscope, the next day I have more people on Facebook Live. And eventually I'm going to get rid of one of them. I don't know which one it is, but you're still not using Periscope, right, Jenny?
Oh, yeah, I dropped Periscope after 4 scopes. Freaking hearts hit me in the face and emoticons.
Facebook Live, my internet does not. I mean, Facebook Live just gets poor signal, and I don't know whether that's because of my internet or the fact I'm running 2 things at one time.
Oh, that's true. That would be a thing. And so then it's a technology barrier. Yeah. And then here I'll just kind of bring it all the way back around, because now I know we're talking about a little bit about Snapchat, but the whole point really is it's a new emerging platform. And then we have platforms like Google Plus that struggled, try to do a revamp, and we'll see how they do in the long run over the next 12 months. And then we have platforms like LinkedIn. And I don't mean to keep picking on them, but it's more of like they're trying to reach a whole different crowd.
Yeah.
Well, they're struggling for identity too.
Yeah, and LinkedIn's been here longer than all of them. So
yeah,
I know, but it's struggling.
Their main bread and butter is recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it makes it a prime platform.
I've never had anything on it because recruitment. I'm not looking for a job, and I'm never going to be looking for a job.
Yeah.
Well, I look for professionals. I look for professionals to honestly, as experts in the field, somebody that I might want to, that's one of the ways that I get a guest on my show.
Yeah. For background research, I find it stellar.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, I gotta hop out. I have some little people that need me. So I'm going to go hop out.
Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Guys, this is awesome. Tim, thanks for having a really honest conversation. Jenny, for hopping in. And Robert, this is a pleasure. This is the first time I've been able to be on Lab with you in person. So,
hey, Jonathan, pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
So I kind of got my official what I wanted to get out on this, all right? An opinion. Yeah. If you guys want to actually come in from the sidelines, all I'm going to ask for you is to come in and give your opinions on Snapchat. We're going to stick to Snapchat. I like it or I don't like it. And tell me why. That's all I want to do. All right. And I don't want to get into a big discussion on it because I do want to end this in 20 minutes. So
I'm going to get off. I will answer that question, then shove people to get in here. I just don't like Snapchat. I want to like Snapchat. Well, I think behind the scenes, which is what everybody talks about, behind the scenes is a nice thing. It's not nice every day. I don't need a behind the scenes of you daily from here forever, like one YouTube video will do. So I just can't get down with it. I made a commitment to give it the whole month, and I'm breaking that commitment by squashing it this week. So thanks for this conversation. Nice to meet you, Robert.
Thanks, Jenny. Nice to meet you.
No. Robert, you?
I'm going to struggle with it for the rest of the month. You know, I made that commitment to try it, and you know, I'm not really that regular on anything, and I need to be. That's the thing that I struggle with is you know, being consistent, and been meaning to start something here regularly on Blab, and have failed to do so yet. So
okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's it. I just wanted that. I'm going with Snapchat, but I can do a whole other one on Blab and the problems of Blab in another day.
yeah.
Sure. I think someone's doing that one right now.
I mean, alternatively, I could do the problems of Rob.
Miss Queen Ninja Guru.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
All right. How are you?
I'm good. I was shoved by Coach Jenny, so I thought I would come in and talk to you a little bit. I have been on Snapchat for about a week. I was also kind of stubbornly refusing to go because I didn't see too much of an application for my business. But one of the things that I do is coach people on social media, so I got to try everything. So yeah, I've tried it. It really is my two best friends duking it out, Fo and Mo, and it's you know, the disappearing stuff creates that. Well, what does this person have to say today? And I might miss out on what they're saying. So far, it's been a lot of people with beers in their hands. You know, I mean, like, how interesting is this really? I think that it can be, just like any other social media platform, it absolutely can be something viable if it's something interesting to you and you want to work toward it and your people are there. To me, it's probably going to be a footnote. But yeah, that's kind of my impressions first week.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good, but you brought up a good point there. You help people and teach people in social media. So you need to be on these tools and finding out how they adapt for your customers, whereas I'm not teaching social media. If it doesn't adapt to a blog, it doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? It's not something I have to teach. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Excellent. Thank you for letting me come on.
You bet. I'm glad you popped in. JS, your opinion.
Hey, Robert. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. You're looking well. It's nice to see you smiling. Well, I think first I need to comment about social media in general, and that is how it seems as though the social has really gone out of media or social media. And all of these things at one point were conversation tools. They were ways of finding people you knew in high school or catching up or being able to stay in touch with friends and family that may live across the country. And then everybody started monetizing them. Third-party tools were really designed, to me, at taking the human aspect away from things, automating these things. So now, for example, in Twitter, I don't see maybe 80 or 90% of the people that are on Twitter having serious engagement or working in any way to their benefit. At least with Snapchat, what I'm seeing is people are having fun.
Yeah.
And that you know, that's a good start. But Snapchat at its root is a communications tool. It's not a monetization tool. It's not a tool for people to tap you on the shoulder and say, come buy my book or this or whatever. Does it have the ability to morph into that? Maybe. The other thing I would say is ghost codes is very interesting. And looking at how that's sort of, I wrote in the side, adding a little body to the broth of Snapchat. I think that it's quite possible that one of the things that's been happening with Snapchat, even today, it is a different beast than it was the first week or two that it came out. So I think they've been fairly responsive and understand their community. Me personally, maybe I suffer from old guy syndrome, but I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. I am doing my best to be active and proactive and respond to people on it. But I will also admit, Twitter took me a little while to get used to it too, and for a long time, for quite a few years, I really enjoyed Twitter. I don't enjoy Twitter anymore. So I think that there is every possibility I will enjoy Snapchat for a while, and then it will become rubbish as well as everything else. The thing that's interesting about Blab, I think Blab forces people to be social.
Yeah.
You can come in here and want to monetize and want to be whatever you want to be, but we could tell if somebody's being scripted. We can tell if somebody's being real. And that's one of the beauties of a platform like this, and why I think Snapchat might work out well. I think the battle will come down to Snapchat being the IM tool versus Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger integrates Facebook Live so that we then have that ability to send not just pictures and emoticons and text via Messenger, but also snippets of video. It's essentially Snapchat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm wondering if that's not a place that a Facebook is going to go. So.
Oh, it is. It's for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, I was sticking on the Snapchat. You know what I mean? I like what you said there, JS. A very good point on the idea that not everything everything you go into is meant to monetize it.
Yeah.
I mean, but if it becomes too much of a struggle to get a following onto it, to then share onto it, which is what Snapchat has become for me, just like YouTube's Hangouts were. They were too much. And why am I doing it if I have to put forth 3 times the effort to do something that isn't part of my business right now? I can get entertainment value somewhere else.
But if you go into Ghost Codes, it gives you the ability of going into a category you feel that suits you. It also gives you the ability to list 10 Boolean searchable words or terms, and also to find other people. So, for example, you can go to Ghost Codes and type in Blab as an interest, and it'll show you the 70 or 80 people who are in there who have listed Blab as one of their interests. And I'm doing pretty well in there. I'm actually in the celebrity category because it was the smallest one, and they let me in. So, and I'm doing fairly well there. And like I say, anything that helps you organize stuff. It's besides with Blab the failure that the platform has at being stable, and we'll just leave it at that. The big problem with Blab, of course, is organizing everything, organizing the people, organizing the events, organizing your interactions, and keeping track of all that stuff. It's a shame I have to go off Blab and go to multiple sources, CRMs, and so on and so forth, to keep track of everybody. And it would be, I think, really beneficial to Blab and the people that are part of this platform if it were somehow able to be done in here. I think the homepage, if it looked more like what we get with DirecTV or cable, even if we're just that broken down so that you could do searches, again, maybe by keywords a little bit better than it is now, just a little bit easier to deal with. And I know they have been responding, and there's constant changes to the homepage, but I think that's a big part of the problem right now, is keeping track of folks.
Yeah.
Who said what to what, and who, I met so many people on here that I would like to consider or mention when people bring up, I need somebody that does such and such and such and such. And it's just impossible to remember all these people. So
yeah. Well, yeah, and that's true, because for me, I always like to try to find people. And Lab, it is getting harder and harder for me to find the people who have the shows that I'm interested in. And number 2, I am also having a hard time growing my following on here. But my objective was never to grow a Blab following. It was to use this tool to get people on my email list, to get people over to my website. That's the truth.
Yeah, organically, this is a really interesting thing now that I think in social media too, and that is organically getting a following. Realistically, I think what it is coming down to.
You're losing your microphone, JS.
Oh, okay. I can go out and come back in, but I was going to leave in a second anyway, like somebody else said. But I was just going to say the thing about it is the followings are ridiculous. They don't mean anything.
No, they don't.
It is all about engagement. Stephen up here has a better engagement with, I don't know how many followers he's got on Twitter, but I know that Guy Kawasaki's got like 100 times more followers, and Stephen's got better engagement. So that's, I think, really where it's going to come down in the future, and especially with things like video, we're going to be looking at not more as better, but realistically the relationships and keeping track of them. I don't know what's going to happen with the Twitter. I think Twitter is going to evolve and become a community type of a Hulu, possibly, or maybe a Netflix, or maybe but it'll be an amalgam of that. So you'll be, again, communications with individuals, but also this ability to watch a lot of live streaming. And everybody's going to be fighting over that.
Yeah.
And Facebook, I think, will also be offering that. They'll be getting into sporting events. And, and if you don't know this, Amazon Live, they hired Woody Allen to produce 4 movies for them.
Wow. So yeah, but I mean, I want to go too far off onto every here. So,
but the funny thing here is everybody says television's dead and it sucks, and we look at how everybody's sort of adopting a television modality, if you will, to some extent or another, because guess what? That's how they can make money.
Yeah. Television's not dead. I still watch television every day.
Yeah. Anyway, good to see you again, and I'll jump off, let somebody else in. Thanks.
All right, Stephen, Steve, Shannon, if you're available and you can jump in, I'd appreciate it, because I know you, and I know you got some great opinions on stuff on this. So, would love.
I'll jump out to you, my friend. Thanks for letting me on.
Good to see you, girl. Stephen, how are you, buddy?
I'm better than I have a right to be. However, I do not have a headset on, and I'm fairly critical of not producing good audio with my background in commercial radios. Thank you for the high praise. Back at you. I find that when adults get on, and this is true of this blab, get on blab, that other adults are attractive if they happen to be available. So I don't know if I want to contribute more than that. I don't want to be too nervy, but I'm passionate about communicating, always have been. I can remember in the days of dial-up, I used an internal fax software as my email, before email really was robust. So I think my second career of 24 plus years as a career trainer, and 4,000, that's my number, of dealing with professional men and women who want to make more money working where they are now or working for themselves or someone else. I rarely would have somebody say, "You're an idiot," and disappear, because I had 10 years at Pratt Whitney Space Propulsion, like a ministry of working with 1,300 people there. So it's a story of cutting your eye teeth. So I think I have a right to make an observation, and I think, and I apologize, Robert, I haven't seen you perform, but I really, hats off to you. Good audio, great picture, all that sort of thing. But I have experienced Tim a number of times, and Tim, I'd be interested in your opinion. Jonathan has got it, the it. You remember the it girl? Well, he's the it guy. He is so receptive. He just got a knack that I wish I would have, that attracts people, whether you're on Snapchat, up your chat, down your chat. I don't think it matters. In the case of Jonathan, I don't know that he may know it, he may not accept it. I'm just interested in your opinion. And I see Wilbert is on there, and I don't want to monopolize. I'll be glad to put on my headset.
I want to ask you this, Stephen, because I want to keep this back around to Snapchat, is why I started this.
Absolutely.
Your opinion, good, bad, what do you like or dislike about it?
Good discipline. I will have to sign off because I'm a ham. If I got on Snapchat, that's what all I do. I mean, you name it. You know, rock and roll. I've got a lot of stand-up material of about 2 minutes. I'm sick and tired of getting up, sick and tired. I know my whole family's sick about it, and on and on. So I am really cornball. Talk to my kids have spread out the United States. So I'm not a Snapchat person, so I'll allow somebody to come in who can be more congruent for you.
Okay. I appreciate you coming in and giving us some information, Stephen. Have a great day, buddy.
Stephen, good to meet you.
High praise. Thanks for the high praise to you both.
You bet, bud. Wilbert, how about you? Snapchat. Like it, dislike it? What do you like? What don't you like?
Hey, Tim. Hey, Robert. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
I like Snapchat a lot, in fact, because, well, if you people try to compare it to other media, but I don't think it's fair. You have to look at like it is being presenting how it is used, you know? So if you had a look on Twitter, it's already there for a few more years. I actually started using it around 2010, and I'm only using Snapchat for 2 years right now, I guess. I think it's not even existing longer than 2 or 3 years. But besides that fact, the way they are covering big events, like football games, that's just what I like, you know, because you can really explore those stories like you have on top.
Yeah.
For example, now you have Coachella. You can so much different views from one person at the same time, just from a different position or angle, and you have a clear, summarizing event, you know, like if you were there. So every becomes, it's just great how they add things and like they present it, and the way you can interact with your own people is great. But there's not, there's just what I miss about it is there is not a community behind it. I mean, with Facebook, I can add and manage my own friends, but here I have to look them up exactly by their name.
You got some good points there, Wilbert. I mean, the fact, the sporting events, I know it because I'm a Mavericks fan. I go to the Dallas Mavericks games, and there's a Dallas Mavericks storyline in there. I've seen that. But there you go, community. Right there, you said it, community. The reason Blab grows is because we've built the community. Snapchat, I don't see the community into it. So you got two good points there.
And it's always, you have to be there to see it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Blab, you have to be really live, but then it's like video that's able to be pushed on when you're there. So, and it can become live if you can have real interaction at the same time. I mean, you can see that someone is sending or received a message at the right time, like you have with other media. But I think it's there at the time you actually are using it, and then you can use it like you want to. So that's the difference between live streams, you know. You have to be there when it's on, and that's not happening with Snapchat. So I think they have a very strong point when it comes to video not being live but pushed or something like that.
Okay. I appreciate your feedback onto it. So, Kim.
Hi. I had a question. I saw, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I saw Wilbert on here because we were on a Blab before. So then I saw what the title was. So I just came on and I missed quite a bit of the talk about Snapchat. But I have a 17-year-old daughter who lives on Snapchat. I do a lot of content development for professionals. I teach students how to write. And I don't see the point of Snapchat beyond kids sending stuff in school. I don't know how I could use it to teach kids how to write. I don't know how you can use it to push content out effectively. And I just wondered if I missed something critical that I was thinking of downloading it because I haven't seen the point of it. I like this platform because people can talk and interact. Yeah. I like Facebook because as long as you use it to be social, and what I always tell my corporate clients who want to go out there and use Facebook and use Twitter and use LinkedIn, whatever it is, that it all works. You can schedule anything you want, but you have to be social. You have to, it's no better. I don't know if you'll You might like this, you might not. But I find that if you're good at networking, if you're good at being social, if you can go into a party and sit at a table and talk to someone, these are tools, the same tools. They're different tools, but you have to be good at the basic part. So you can go on here, you can go on Twitter and schedule everything and never interact. And you're not going to get anything out of it if you don't like something someone else has. People will not pay attention to you. So I saw some people talking about that, and that's been my experience, that you still need good content. And a lot of the companies and a lot of the people who do these webinars and some of the names I heard thrown around, they all tell everyone it's not the content, it's just pushing it out and pushing it out. And I'm going to disagree with that. If you don't have something to say.
I've done something with rock and roll, and I use this as an analogy all the time. The Beatles and Kiss. Yeah. Who has more platinum albums?
James Taylor.
No, the two bands I gave you, the Beatles.
Oh, you're asking me a question.
Who has more platinum albums?
Does Kiss?
Kiss has more platinum albums. Name a Kiss song.
Beth.
Name a Beatles song.
The Long and Winding Road.
We all can name a ton of Beatles songs, but very few people can name a Kiss song. Why is it that Kiss has more platinum albums?
I don't know.
They know how to keep getting out there and in your face and marketing and in your face and marketing. They kept at it.
Oh, so you're saying it's not just content?
Yeah, it's not. It's marketing it. You can have. There's people out there with bad content. There's people out there to put on mediocre seminars. I've been to them and I spoke at them. Mediocre seminars, and yet they have 700 people in their room. And I know people who have like awesome content who can't get 40 people in their room.
So are you? So what do you coach? Do you help people?
I work with speakers and coaches to help them create a blog and personal brand.
So if you have
rock around your blog.
Okay, so if you have good content, you can help do something with it. That's
I help people get started with the content and building their personal story. Yeah, that's what I start with, because it's just with so many people who I find in the blogging world who come in and want to get started, they get so caught up in all these tools that they don't do anything.
Right, and they're just tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they get caught up in social media and they don't do anything. Or they get caught up in studying how to make HTML work and they don't do nothing. I get people who come to my workshop. I get you come in at 9 a.m. By 11 o'clock, you have a blog post up.
Okay.
Done. You're posted, your first blog post. And that right there, through my workshop, after they do it, I always make the statement, you've done more than 90% of the bloggers on the planet right now.
I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk to you. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you off of this blab, but
yeah. Sure. I mean, I'm just doing this one today, so I mean.
Oh no, this is great. I just kind of fell into it, and I thought, oh, social media, I should listen to it. I downloaded a book. I'll send it to you, or I'll send you something. It was one of those people online. It was free, usually $99, so I just downloaded it and then got out of it, the payment plan. But it's not very good. You know, there's a lot of people out there who give. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, so you have to be careful.
So
what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about Snapchat. Do you like it or don't like it?
Like what?
Snapchat.
Snapchat. Oh yeah, I fuck with it.
He's going.
I like
All right, if somebody else wants to get in, I'll go off. But what do you do, Robert?
We like you. We look like you.
I'm a retired attorney that's developing a new business in digital leads, helping small companies make the transition from analog to digital.
Oh, that's cool. Huh.
No. So, Jonathan is my good friend, Jonathan. I know him from Los Angeles. So, Kim, I appreciate it. Connect with me offline.
I will. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for answering my question.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take my dog out. Bye.
No.
Hey,
Jonathan. Snapchat. Yeah. You like it or not?
Well, actually, yeah, there we go. I'll be right back. Nice.
I'll see you back, Robert.
I'm not a fan of Snapchat only because it tries to capture memory, but creates a false sense of memory. I have an associate who uses it to connect with her son at college, but he has to like resend pictures occasionally because it's so transient. It doesn't have the impact of longer duration like you would find with Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's you know what I mean? Seeing the way it's going. It's like if you've been here for most of the conversation too. I'm sorry, I'm checking somebody out. So
yeah, no worries.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm not putting it down. If you know what I mean, I'm not seeing the purpose in it for me. So I'm like, I want other people's opinion, and I didn't want to make this show just about me. So I wanted to make sure other people got in here to share about it. So
right. Well, I just wanted to include mention the fact that the intransience, that's the problem. Yeah. What we as communicators are trying to do is build connections and cement connections, and it seems to me that Snapchat's purpose is just the opposite. It's to marginalize and isolate incidents, and the fact that you missed out is actually a negative, not a positive.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to drop in and mention that, and thank you for the opportunity, Tim, and I will talk to you again later. You can drop me out now. Thanks.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Good to see you, Jonathan.
Good to meet you.
Likewise.
So, all right, guys. Anybody else? All right, if you want to come in, here's the deal. You'll come in. I want to know, Snapchat, do you like it or don't like it? Are you keeping it? Are you using it? And how are you using it? So Tim asked Brian Fanzo. I don't know if Brian's available to come on here. I think they're out at Social Media World. So, but I mean, I was just trying to get you guys' opinion. There's other people I try to get on here, so and they're not available, and they're other social media people. So, but yeah, Brian Fanzo came in. I would love it. Because I know he likes it, and I know he could teach something from it. But I went and asked a lot of people I know who go and learn social media, and then they help teach you. I asked people, and you know what I mean. They didn't create anything to help me learn it. So you know what I mean. I don't have time to go sit and spend hours learning it. After 90 days, if I can't incorporate it into my life or business, it doesn't stay anymore. So
it seems like they've purposely made it rather cryptic.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was with the Hangouts, the Google Hangouts. It really got such a pain for me to try to figure out. I just gave up.
Yeah. And to listen to the gurus talk about, the little awards things there, the unlocked little secrets. I mean, what's that all about?
Yeah.
I can't even bring it up on my phone. You swipe here, swipe there. Just be a lot better if
I just went over there to try to bring it, and my questions are gone. I can't even bring my questions up. Oh well. If you put quality content on YouTube, it stays there for forever. Working so hard to create a story and acting it out, it really is challenging. Furthermore, interrupting my day to listen to someone doing bad acting somehow doesn't inspire me. Thank you, Fast Pup. That's brilliant.
Well done.
Kate, yeah. It's just, that's it. I mean, I put up a YouTube video, and I have YouTube video. I have my most popular YouTube videos from my wedding day. When my wife and I got married, she said I could play any song for her to walk down the aisle. So when she walked out the door of the house to walk down, the DJ queued on Highway to Hell. And we made a video out of it because it was funny. And then, I mean, it converts, and you want to find it, you're going to have to go look up. I think it says Rockstar Coach, Bride Walks Down the Aisle to Highway to Hell or something like that. We saved it. It's funny. And I think that's the type of things that become a funny video. Well, I use YouTube for my personal business. I mean, almost all my videos I put up on YouTube and then embed them on my website from YouTube. Some I make private, some are public, you can see from there. But a lot of them, you have to be on my website to see them.
Mm-hmm.
So, anybody else want to come in and give me their opinion? Facebook, or not Facebook, Snapchat. You good, bad, indifferent. So,
when do you want to hop on?
Sherry Prindle's in the house. Sherry, are you available to get on screen? Off. So great comments over here too. Got you guys in here. It's a lot of great comments. I appreciate them. So I know Sherry very well, so I want to bring her on screen. I always love the people I love. They come on screen with me anytime they come on. Hi, honey. No, Dot.
No audio.
We can't hear you. She's probably working off her laptop. So I started this thing on Facebook, and I keep still getting the notices for it. I started it on Facebook on Saturday.
Yeah.
And said the last person to comment on this post, gets $100. It's still going with over 1,000 some odd comments. Hey, Jay. I see Jay. Let me bring Jay in here while she's getting that fixed.
Yeah, I thought while Sherry's getting her audio fixed.
Sherry's fixing Jay. Heck yeah, man. Snapchat. Yes? No?
You know, the thing that's funny about Snapchat, Robert, I'm a recovering attorney as well, is people seem to compare it with the other social platforms, and it's something different. I mean, like, I completely agree with the comments about YouTube. There's some permanence there. I think the advantage to Snapchat is you got the opportunity to really capture the attention of your audience, but it's temporary. So it's not going to serve the same purpose as YouTube. It's not the same purpose as Blab. It's I'm not in a product arena. I'm in a service arena. As a lawyer, as a mortgage broker, the content that I'm producing on Snapchat is really a day in the life of, or some personal stuff. Get to know me differently than content I would put in a permanent position. Like I may go for a run, and a lot of my snaps in the last month have, on my runs, I've been snapping the flowers, the blue bonnets, the Indian paintbrushes, the cactus as they blossom, you know, and it's stuff that is really not critical as far as long-standing content that I want to leave out on the internet. But those 30 to 60 people that are viewing my snaps are getting an idea of what I do on a daily basis. It's like a peek behind the, the curtain, so to speak. Now, if I was in a product position, yes, I think it would be much more difficult. You would have to manage Snapchat quite a bit. I think the attraction to Snapchat is you've got the potential to have a very captive audience for a temporary time because that content goes away once it's viewed. But I like it. I don't see it, competing or taking the place of other social platforms or other content generation platforms. And I think I agree with Tim with everything that you said about, if it doesn't fit you, it doesn't serve those purposes that you want to meet. And you've got to, we all have to decide our time, what's the best use of our time on, on the internet, on live streaming video, are we going to devote time to Facebook, or is our audience there? Or do we want to have an audience on Snapchat? Yeah. I know, my two teenage sons, I've got a 19-year-old and a 15-year-old, and neither one of them have Facebook. So if I had a product that I was trying to reach that demographic, Facebook is not the place to be. They are on Instagram and Snapchat. That's what they do. So if I've got something that I want to target teenage boys, I don't have girls, so I haven't looked into that. But if I want to target 15 to 19-year-old boys, then I'm on Snapchat, Instagram, or Reddit. Those are their three platforms. They'll eventually end up at YouTube, if they want to watch, something lengthy. But those are the three platforms that, they're on quite a bit. So I think it just depends on us. I use Snapchat for a, very personal purpose. I don't produce content. Another attorney that's using Snapchat quite a bit, Mitch Jackson. Mitch tells stories. Mitch gives, legal lessons. He gives advice on speaking where he has 15 or 20 snaps that he'll put back to back to back to back and generate content. And it's good content. And that because it's on Snapchat, you've got to watch it because once it's gone, it's gone. And so you're captive. So if you're a consumer and you like the content that a particular Snapchatter is putting out, then you're going to sit there and you're going to be engaged. and I find myself with several of them being engaged quite a bit. So that's a long answer. I don't know if I really answered your question, but I mean, that's how I use Snapchat. And I don't consume as much as I thought I would consume, and I don't generate as much content as I thought I would generate.
Yeah. So, well, everyone's opinion counts. It's their opinion. That's why I have everybody in here do it. I appreciate it, Jay. So
hey, good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Robert, good to see you again.
Thanks, Jay.
Bye, Sherry.
Sherry. No sound. No sound. Sherry and I run a meetup group together. However, she isn't in town, so I run the meetup group, and her name's on because she started it. So, But anyway, so here's the deal, guys. Who's this last person calling in? It won't show. Why it won't show all of a sudden? It will not go over there. What the heck? Is that Johnny? Am I on or am I off?
You're on.
Okay. So I can't seem to. All right. Yeah, because it's showing me a caller, but I can't get to him. So
you want to co-host me and then refresh and come back on?
No, basically, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fire this down. I just seen. I mean, if I could have got Johnny on here, but I don't know if Johnny's using it or not. I would love his opinion, but I don't know, Chocolate Johnny. But if I can, yeah. Hold on a second. Just hold the seat down. Don't leave. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, now I get all the props.
All right. Are we working again?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. Is Johnny still in the room or Johnny has you left? Chocolate Johnny, if you can come in, I would appreciate it. I really love your opinion on Snapchat. So as I know, Johnny does an awful lot with his business and live streaming. So if he could, if you can't, Chocolate Johnny, just put a note down here.
His icon is still up on top.
So let me see this guy, if I could find out who he is. Spy Gadget. So bring him in. So I couldn't even, they wouldn't let me bring anybody in. So, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you guys? Hey, what's happening? How you doing, Tim?
Good.
Hey, good afternoon.
How you doing, Robert?
I'm trying to end this. So Snapchat, you like it? You don't like it? You use it? You don't use it? That's what we want to find out.
Yeah, I use it. I don't know if I'm in love with it. I don't know what it's doing, but I use it, and I'm trying to be consistent. But I think you hit it on the head, Tim, when you talked about content being pushed out there and just embracing the idea of pushing that content out there. Sometimes that gets you tremendous exposure as compared to somebody who has perfect quality content, but they're not pushing it out there. Guess who's going to get more platinum records? It's always going to be the KISS groups of the world. Yeah. Microsoft did the same thing with operating systems. They pushed out all these garbage operating systems. And what did we do? We embraced them, we bought them, we used them. And then later on, we realized there were some other better products, but guess what? It was already too late. We bought into the Microsoft marketing mix, and we made Bill Gates super billionaire. So yeah. I agree with you 100%. You got to push that content out there wherever you can get it, and that will probably get you so much exposure, so much perceived credibility. Nobody will know the difference. And then you perfect your strategy and your marketing and everything else afterwards, after you get that exposure, because that's what's going to make the phone ring. It's going to be that exposure as a result of that quantity. But you guys have got a great thing going, and a good question, and good idea to pose that question to people. Definitely.
So yeah, and that's all I wanted to do today. Just give feedback on this, because
okay, hold on a second.
Conversations.
Go ahead.
Today, I was on Jenny's show and just said, Snapchat. Well, I just hate it. I'm like, I'm going to do a show called Snapchat. Time to delete it and see what happens, because not everybody likes everything, and it's okay not to like something. It's okay not to use it. All right, just because you know what I mean. Just because Robert may like it doesn't mean I have to. If it doesn't fit into my world, I don't use it. I know people who won't get on Blab. They just won't. It doesn't fit their world. It's okay. You know what I mean? You've got to, and here's what I've learned over my years in working with blogging is you got to find a way to check the tools out. If your tools if your business becomes more about the tools and less about the product that you're trying to produce with it, all right, you're never going to get anywhere with your business. I have made it a habit in my business that I've got to keep moving forward with my business. And when it comes to tools like this, I cannot become focused on the tools. I got to adapt, see if the tools work. If they don't work in my life or my business, and now it's time to get rid of them and take them out.
Let me elaborate on that in terms of why. Let me get rid of this stupid screen here, this thing here on the phone. One reason why we really shouldn't get too obsessed with the tools is because the tools come and go. I've seen a number of killer social media sites that are no longer around anymore. And believe it or not, as business owners, sometimes we jump on this bandwagon and we put all these resources and all this time and effort into the Chirpifies, which nobody recognizes the name anymore, or some of the others that have long come and gone. And now, from what I understand, Twitter may be on the ropes. But yeah, some of these platforms, they come and go, and you'll spend so much time and effort trying to embrace this one, get marketing people on top of it. You know, you get obsessed with the analytics of it. Again, then guess what happens? Guess what happens? It folds. And then, you know, you all this time and effort is gone down the drain. So yeah, you really have to, you guys listen to him when he talks about these are just an additional tool. If it works for you, fine. If it doesn't work for you, then you know, don't get emotionally attached to it. In other words, because at some point, guess what? Something else is going to come along, and you're going to find yourself. Everybody's going to promote that one. you're going to be jumping on that other one.
And that's it. I mean, Meerkat. I think Meerkat was here first, wasn't it? Before Periscope.
I think it was, and I considered that one for probably 10 seconds. And
Periscope, and Meerkat's not going to do it anymore. Not going to do live streaming anymore. Periscope's taking over.
Right.
So here's the other thing: is you mentioned something in there. Is this platform revolved around using your Twitter profile?
Exactly.
Anytime you rely on somebody else's platform to build your business,
it could happen.
As soon as that platform fails, your business fails. I'm not going to put, and this is my opinion, I'm not going to put the future of my business in anybody else's hands but me.
Right.
That's
now,
just...
Yeah, you have to control your destiny. Everybody's looking out for their self-interest, their own best interest. Mark Zuckerberg, what he's doing with that platform, keeping that data, aggregating it, marketing it, selling it, that's what he's doing. Now, if you go to Facebook right now and you try to get all of that information, download and take it off of Facebook, good luck. Because you give up ownership with those guys. The way they run that model, you're giving up ownership. That means it's not yours. So theoretically, he can do whatever he wants to do with it. Okay, if he closes your account today, that's it. You're gone. Okay, and whether or not it gives you a reason or not, that's another issue. but you know,
see, this is why I have said for 6 years, you've got to have your own website, and you got to be capturing leads on your own website. All right, and I'm actually going to use Kim, because Kim actually made a note in here, and she said it was. I'm watching to see who in here has gone over to my website to sign up for my email list. I'm in the business to build my list, to build webinars, to help people. And I'm in the business. All right, right now, Chocolate Johnny's in the room. He can't come in because he's making hot chocolate. But Johnny's in the business of making chocolate. This is just a topic that it's related to him, so he's listening. But he's not relying on this to make his living. He's selling chocolate for a living. I'm selling blog training for a living. That's how I pay my bills. You know what I mean? So I'm looking to see who's signing up for my email list right now. Checking that, watching it. Am I teaching something that people want to learn? All right. I watched it. 130 people came through here in an hour. Tells me I've got a subject that people want to hear from me.
Could I throw something else in there? This will be the last thing.
Yeah.
I'm a cybersecurity agent in training. Okay, that's something I'm helping somebody else with, and you know, on blog. So I'm learning a lot about cybersecurity. And from what I'm learning, if I want to know about Tim or Robert, I'm gonna not just go to Facebook. I'm not just gonna go to Blab. I'm not just gonna go to Twitter. I'm gonna search all of them, including LinkedIn. And guess what? Robert's gonna leave some crumbs over here. Tim's gonna leave some crumbs over there. That may be on Facebook. Then I'm gonna double check LinkedIn. Then I'm gonna look on Instagram. So in aggregate, that's what we need to look at. In aggregate, there's a ton of information about us on all of these particular platforms, but every single one of them serves a very special purpose, okay? We're gonna do informal videos probably on Snapchat, and hope, thank God, that they disappear, you know. And then you're gonna use the other LinkedIn for really professional things, right? This is my job and my business and my networks and all that. So yeah, I think in aggregate, we're probably getting a little bit more value, but individually, be careful, because you may get boxed into a corner and put all your eggs in that basket. I'm gonna let you guys conclude. I'm gonna bow out, but it was an excellent.
Monty, before you go, what are Spy Gadgets?
Stuff to do.
Okay, Spy Gadgets is a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have 3 distinguishing things that separates from the competition: lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products, 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support, the largest video library, demonstration video you're going to see on the internet, in addition to the very largest article directory to teach you about counter surveillance, surveillance, bug detection, and everything else.
Wow.
That's it.
I didn't mean to open that door.
All right. All right, take care. All right.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to close this down with a couple of closing statements here real quick. And then, but do you like James Taylor? I love James Taylor, so it's cool. Hey, guys, my name is Tim Gillette. I host stuff on Rock Around Your Blog. I teach people blog training and personal branding. That's what I do. Rock Around Your Blog is my main show. TimGillette.com is my main website. I hope this has inspired you guys today. All right. You've got to find out what platforms are working for you. All right. Find a way that you test them. Like I said, I tested mine, and that is I actually went on Snapchat 60 days. I was on there at between 60, last 30 days, 60 and 90 days. I went, okay, this isn't working for me. All right. And I actually decided to, okay, I'm checking off of it. And that's okay. Someday I may be able to come back to it. If you put a system in charge for any platform, if it doesn't fit your life or your business within 90 days, chances are that you need to step aside from it and get on with your life and business, and don't let the tool tear you down. That's my opinion for what it's worth. So, Robert, any closing thoughts?
No, Tim, I think I was just thrilled that you came up with the topic. It was something that needed to be said, in my opinion, and I enjoyed the session.
Okay. So I appreciate you helping me out today, Robert. It's been great having you in here. Guys, be watching for me. Subscribe to me. Follow me here. And follow me on Twitter and Facebook as well. You see when I do some more of these, because I try to pick the most interesting things that teach about blogging, branding, and online strategies. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, Tim.